Okay, you guys, our last skill then is how do we name ionic compounds? So we used two different methods. We used the drawing method, we did the dot diagrams with arrows, and we just practiced the crisscross method for putting ionic compounds together, for making their formulas. Now we're going to learn how to name them. So there are two steps to naming ionic compounds. The first is that the name of the metal goes first. The metal will always make a cation. And we're going to write the whole name. So we're going to find that on the periodic table. Okay. Ionic compounds have a first and a last name. So their first name is the cation. The second name is the name of the nonmetal. And this one, it changes a little bit. So you're going to remove the ending and add IDE to it. So if our second element was oxygen, remove the -agen and it changes to oxide. If it was sulfur, you remove the and it changes to sulfide. If it was chlorine, you take off the -ene and change it to chloride. So you can see that it's different depending on what ending you have. And so we will get used to them as we use them more. Okay, so let's practice a few. So we are going to split it up into the two elements that are in a compound. So our first element is Na, and the first element we write the whole name. So Na becomes sodium. And then our second element, Cl, is chlorine. We're going to take off the -ene and change it to -ide, so chloride, our new ending. So all ionic compounds end in that -ide, so sodium chloride. Let's look at a couple more. So again, our first element, we're just going to write our name off the periodic table. So this is aluminum. And then the second element, this is oxygen. Take off the -agen and change it to -ide, so it becomes oxide. Notice, you guys, there's numbers in there, and I'm just ignoring the numbers, so we don't put the numbers in the name. So it's just aluminum oxide. Okay, our B is rubidium. Write the whole first name. And then F is fluorine. Take off the -ene and change it to -ide. Okay. Zinc is Zn, so we write the whole first name. And then bromine, take off the -ene and change it to -ide. And then last one, the first name is the whole name, so Ba is barium. And then our second element is nitrogen. Nitrogen is similar to oxygen. We take off the -ogen and change it to nitride.